Another question you can ask to elicit truth-telling or congruently delivered energy is something that they've handled well in the past. It's some kind of obstacle that came up, some kind of unexpected problem that came up, and they handled it no problem and maybe even got a compliment. And you introduce it the same way. Hey, there's this cool question I heard about on social media. It's supposed to create a deep conversational connection. Would it be okay if I asked you? Sure, go ahead. What's a time in the past, maybe a long time ago, maybe recently, where you overcame some kind of unexpected difficulty and everything turned out okay? For me, it was back when I was in 3rd grade and we had to give a demonstration of some kind. And I chose to demonstrate how to make peanut butter. And so I passed out peanuts to everybody, and everybody shelled a couple of peanuts. I took all the peanuts, put them in a blender, ground them up into peanut butter, and I was going to spread them on a piece of cracker and hand out the crackers, but I forgot the knife, and I panicked. But then I used the big wooden spoon that I used to scoop the peanut butter out of the blender with and put that on use that to put the peanut butter on the crackers. And I overcame that problem, and the teacher even said, hey, I noticed you forgot the knife, but you used the spoon. That's pretty good thinking on the spot. And so I felt pretty good about myself. What about you? What's something that you've overcome in the past that you handled particularly well? And then let them talk about themselves, ask either or questions, ask follow-up questions, relax and enjoy the show, and calibrate the energy from an internal standpoint. Another question you can ask is about one of their past successes or something that they consider is one of their greatest accomplishments. You set it up the same way. Hey, I saw this question on social media. It said to create a deep conversational connection, ask this question. Can I ask you? Sure, go ahead. What do you consider one of your biggest accomplishments? For me, it was when I was in high school and I was out jogging, and my friend saw me out jogging and he said, hey, let's go run the marathon this weekend. Now, at the time, my friend was a semi-pro soccer player, so he was in really good shape, but I was just a hobbyist when it came to jogging. And I said, sure, no problem. And the first 10 miles was pretty cool. It was really crowded. There's a lot of people. The people on the sides were cheering. But after about mile 15, I really started to suffer. And 15, 16, 17, 18 mile mark, I was really suffering, and I was battling in my head. Should I continue? Should I quit? Should I continue? Should I quit? And I almost quit, but I kept going, and I finally finished. It took me a long time, and I limped for like a month, but I'm very, very proud of myself for finishing that marathon. What is something that you're proud of doing? And then relax, let them answer. Doesn't matter if they answer the question directly or if they answer another question. Remember, you're only there to calibrate their congruent energy. Another question you can drop in, which you don't really need to preface by saying you saw it on social media, is just get them talking about the favorite meal they've ever cooked or one of their favorite vacations they've ever been on. So whenever the conversation is talking about food, you can say, hey, what's one of the greatest meals you've ever cooked? For me, it was about 10 years ago. I was at my brother's house after Thanksgiving, and somebody said, hey, who's having Thanksgiving next year? And I said, I'll do it. And immediately everybody said, okay. That's when I realized I might have made a mistake because I've never cooked that big of a meal before. And so a couple of weeks before the big day, I practiced and I cooked all kind of stuff, and the big day came and I cooked a huge Thanksgiving meal. It came out wonderfully, and it was one of my favorite meals that I've ever cooked. What about you? What's one of the best meals that you've ever cooked or you've ever eaten or you've ever experienced? And it doesn't matter what kind of answer they give you, so long as you're giving an answer congruently and you relax. Enjoy the show, enjoy their congruent energy, ask either or questions, ask follow-up questions, and calibrate internally what it's like to listen to this particular person give a congruent, truthful answer.